Yes, now I can.
Okay. So in our previous session, we have discussed about how to work with a sample Java program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have seen how to display message and how to work with the data types,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now today we are going to discuss about control statements. Okay. Control statement means if and else, for loops, while loops, all these things will be called as control statements.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Control statements are what? They are the statements which are going to control the flow of execution here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let us take an example. Here I am having two variables. Integer a equal to 10, integer b equal to 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that means here I'm having two integer variables, a and b there. Okay, so now my requirement is I need to find what is the greatest number among these two variables and I need to display them.
Mm-hmm.
If a is the greatest number, I need to display a is greatest, right?
Yeah.
Or else I need to display b is greatest number like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that means here how many possibilities are there? We are having two possible ways, right?
Actually, you have three possibilities, but yeah, let's go with two.
Yeah, equal cases, forget about equal case.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are just assuming whether it may be a is equal, sorry, a is the greatest number or
Mm-hmm.
b is the greatest number. We are
Mm-hmm.
considering those two cases only here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me give something here. So case one, maybe a is greatest number, right? Or case two, maybe b is greatest number,
Yeah.
right? So now if I compile and execute the program, what it will do? First, it will assign these two values for these two integer variables a and b,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will display a is greatest number, and then followed by b is greatest number. It will display, right? But now
Yeah.
my requirement is what I need to display either a is greatest number or b is greatest number,
Mm-hmm.
right? That means here I need to check, right? Here I need to check with the condition, right? So let me
Yes.
give the condition here. If of a is greater than b, else,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now if I compile and execute the program, what is your expected output? Let us assume I am removing this else statement here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now if I compile and execute the program, what is your expected output?
Mm. Nothing.
Nothing, right?
Yes.
So just observe here. Java space my class.java is compiled. It was compiled successfully. Java space my class, right. Before pressing enter, can you please explain me the flow of execution here? You are saying the output is nothing, right?
Yeah,
Can you
because
please explain me how it will be nothing? Yeah,
first the system will check A and B, and since it's if actually your
okay,
answer might be B is greatest number.
exactly. We will get b is greatest number.
Yeah.
Why? Because if of a is greater than b, here a is greater than b is what? It's a condition, right?
Yeah.
Condition means what? It has written in boolean value. That
Mm-hmm.
means either true or false,
Mm-hmm.
right? So here coming to my values, a is 10 and b is 20. Here it will return false or not,
Yes.
right? If it is returning false, it is not supposed to execute this one.
Mm-hmm.
If it is returning true, then it has to execute it. Otherwise, it has to skip this one.
Yes.
Okay, but there is no control of this if statement on this
Mm-hmm.
second print statement. There is no control on the second print statement. Okay, right? So in the flow of execution, anyhow, it is having the base greatest number, so it will display base greatest number here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now let us consider. Now coming to this one, first case, a equal to 100 I'm giving, so it has to execute a is greatest number or not.
Yes.
So now guess what is your expected output here?
Both.
Exactly, both the statements will display here, right? So to avoid this, what I need to do, I need to provide the else statement here,
Yep.
right? That means what? If you are using if, else is not mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you are providing if, else is not mandatory here. Why? Because without else also my program will work, right? So now guess, if I am not providing if I am providing only else, is this going to work now?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously no, right? Else means what? Otherwise. You can consider it as otherwise, right? So before going for otherwise section, first of all we have to know what is the condition or not, right? So obviously if we compile this program, it will raise one error, something like else without if like that. Are you getting the expected error here? What it is
Yes.
saying? Else without if. That means what? If we are using else, if is mandatory here. Okay, so now check here, is this working? Is this compiled? It was compiled successfully and it was executed successfully. We are getting the expected output here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is about the basic information of if and else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. So now my requirement is like this. Right now I need to display A is get a symbol for 5 times. So if you want to display this message for 5 times, how can I do that one? Right? I can provide, right? I can provide the same statement for 5 times, or else
Mm-hmm.
I can have only one statement and I can execute it for 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Shirish?
Yeah.
We are having two ways, right? We can
Mm-hmm.
provide 5 statements, or else we can provide only one statement and we can execute it for repeatedly 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone is fine, right? So now let me provide a for loop here. See, it may be any loop. It may be for loop, while loop, or do while, whatever it may be. Loop means what? It has to be repeated execution,
Mm-hmm.
right? So here I'm providing for loop here. Coming to for loop, the syntax is something like
Mm-hmm.
initialization, then condition, then either increment or decrement we need to give. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
coming to the initialization, my requirement is what? I need to make this has to be executed for 5 times, right?
Yeah.
So I am starting with 0 and I will end with 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, 1 second, please stay online. I'm getting a call from my HR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 second, please stay online. Yeah, sorry. Right. So now let me provide the condition here. First, we need to provide the initialization, right? Integer I equal to 0 I'm giving, and I should be less than 5, and I plus plus I'm giving. Right. So if I give like this, what will happen? Can you please explain the flow of execution here? How many times it will do the initialization, how many times it will check with the condition, and how many times the increment will going on.
5 times.
5 times, right?
Yeah.
What about initialization? Initialization also going to be executed for 5 times?
No. Once.
No, right?
No.
Exactly. Initialization will done once, and then coming to the condition, it will check for how many times?
Which one?
Condition.
It'll check for 5 times.
6 times.
No, five
Okay.
times because it's less than five, right? So zero is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, 6 times.
0.
Yeah, correct.
Exactly, right? 6 times. So 5 are true. 5 will return true, but one last one will return false here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 0 to 5. How many things we are having? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So total 6 are there. But it will execute, it will return true for the values of the I equal to 0 to 4 only.
Mm-hmm.
The I value equal to 5, 5 is not less than 5, right? So by the time it will return false. And it will terminate the loop.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And commit increment also the same thing. It will execute for 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The increment will be done for only 5 times only. Okay, Shishir?
Yeah.
Right. So 1 second. Let me compile this and let me check it. Anyhow, we will get the expected output only here.
Mm.
Right. So can you please explain this one? What is this?
So first it checks for the initialized variable, and this is the increment process. So
Increment,
it's
right?
plus plus. Yeah, it's kind of equal
Exactly.
to
So what
I
is
plus one kind of a thing.
exactly? Exactly. Right. So what is the difference between I plus plus and plus plus I?
It says increment first in plus plus I, whereas in I plus plus it first does the process and then it increments later.
Okay. So let me give something
Before.
like this. Okay. So now what I am doing is here I am trying to create a variable A. Initially I am making the value as 1.
Mm.
Okay. And then coming to my program, I am making it as A plus plus. I am trying to display the value of A plus plus here.
Mm-hmm.
Then something like plus plus A.
Mm.
Right. So now can you please explain me what is your expected output here? So how many statements I'm having here now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So can you please explain me what are the expected outputs here?
Okay, so the expected output in the first one would be 1.
One,
The
okay,
expected output in the second one will be 3. Third one
okay,
will be uh, third one will be 3 again. Fourth one will be 5. Sixth
exactly,
one will be 5 again.
okay,
Then it'll be 6.
okay,
Then it will be 8, 8
okay.
and 8.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 3 potentially 4, 5, 5, 5 potentially 6, 6 potentially 7, 8, 8. Exactly. Right? So now let me verify with my compiler. It was compiled successfully, it was executed successfully. Exactly, we are getting the expected output only here. 1 double 3 double 5 6 double 8.
Hmm.
Okay, so okay, fine. So coming to this one, the increments are how many types? There are two types, right? First one is pre-increment, second one is post-increment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Pre-increment will be there, and post-increment also will be there. Okay, fine. So let me remove this one. Right? So now I am trying to write the same program. That means I am trying to write the same program which has to be executed first 5 times by using while loop now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, coming to the while, the syntax is like this: while of, right, while of, here inside this one it will expect only the condition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, inside the pair of parentheses it will expect only the condition. So
Mm-hmm.
let me give something like I should be less than 5. In our previous test we are doing the same thing, right? I less than 5. Right, before using the I less than 5, before using the condition, we have to initialize it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so now if I compile and execute the program, what is your expected output?
It should display 5 times.
Right,
Hmm.
basically it has to display for 5 times. So can you please explain me for what values of I it is going to execute properly?
For values of 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. The fifth one will stop.
Exactly, right. We are saying what 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means what? Initially my value of I equal to 0, but you're
Mm-hmm.
saying what 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means my I value is incrementing or not,
Yes, it's incrementing.
right? But are you providing the increment statement here?
No.
No. If you are not providing the increment statement, how it will increment,
Yep.
right? So initially the value of I equal to 0. So now it will check with the condition. Is 0 is less than 5? Yes,
Yes.
right? True. So it will execute the statement.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, it will come back to the loop. Once
Mm-hmm.
again, it will check with the same condition. Once again, 0 is less than 5 only. Once again,
Mm-hmm.
it will execute again, again, again. So it will become as infinite loop here.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we are not changing the value of I here,
Yeah.
right? So each and every time it will check with 0 less than 5 only.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Shirish?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me compile this one. It was compiled successfully. Let me execute this one. So you can find 1 1 1 1 like that. Right, so let me stop it. It became as infinite loop, right? So it is keep on executing this one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So to terminate this one, we need to hold control plus C, right? So it's because of what? Because of not changing the value of I, we are getting this type of error. So now what I need to do? I need to decrement or increment, but I need to change the value of I here, right? So here I'm providing the increment statement. So now the value of I will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. It will be increment by 1,
Mm-hmm.
right? So coming to my condition, it will be satisfied for the values of I equal to 0 to 4,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now
Yep.
let me compile this. It was compiled successfully. It was executed successfully. That's it. Okay. So okay, fine. But every time what I am saying, coming to this, it's a condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Condition means what I told you. Condition means it also a statement, but it has to retain a boolean value, right? Right,
Sorry,
Sirish?
what? Sorry?
What I told you. Yeah, regarding condition, what I told you. A condition is a statement which is returning a boolean value. That means either true or false.
Mm-hmm.
Is this true? Yes, right?
Yes. Yes.
So now here what I am doing is I am trying to give true directly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I am trying to make the values true directly here and I am displaying the value of I here. So now what is your expected output? First of all, do you think is this going to compile?
Mm. Actually, it shouldn't, but maybe. Once again, it true. What what is true? So print I 0 I plus plus. Uh, it'll again be infinite loop, right?
Exactly. It became as infinite loop. So in the output section, you can find 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let me check it now. Is this compiled? It was compiled successfully and execute it. So now we can find the expected output here. Exactly. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
okay, fine. Now what I am doing is I am changing it as false now. Right? Now what is your expected output?
Mm, if it's false, well, again the there is no expected output here.
That means nothing has been right.
Yeah,
According to our view, there will be no output. But
yeah.
here we will get some compile time error. Why? Because just a second. Let us assume in the place of false I am passing I should be greater than 5,
Mm-hmm.
right? But right now my value of I is 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means it will be greater than 0 is greater than 5. Is this true or false?
Yeah, it's
It's false, right?
false. False.
So can you please explain what is the difference between two statements?
Which ones?
Those two statements, 0 is greater than 5 is there and I is greater than 5 is there. Right? Can you please explain what is the difference between the both of them? Maybe both of them are returning false, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
first one is constant, right?
Yeah,
0 is greater than 5. It is constant, it is true. Sorry, it is false only.
yeah,
Right? But
yeah.
coming to I greater than 5, in this expression, in this condition,
Mm-hmm.
one variable is involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Coming to I is greater than 5, here one variable is involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Shirish? One variable involved means what? Maybe right now it is false,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe in some other time it will return true.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it is variable, right? It is going to vary.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. So, okay, fine. So now what we are doing, while of false we are giving. False means it's constant. For every time it will be false only.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if it is false for every time, then it in its complete lifetime, it will never enter into this loop or not,
Yes, it won't enter.
right? If it is not entering into the loop, then why we need to provide these two statements? It's waste of time only, right?
Yeah.
That's what our compiler will give an error. Okay, so now let me check it. Yes, is compiled. Now it will say unreachable statement. We got the error now.
Yep.
Unreachable statement. Why? Because my compiler is saying like this. See,
Mm-hmm.
because of giving false, the statement is became as unreachable. Then why you are using that one? So we have to
Mm-hmm.
remove it or not.
Yes.
That's it, right? So unreachable statement. It's a very important error for us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, if you got the error, easily we can solve it.
Yeah.
Right? But my main thing is, if you saw that error, you have to get some confirmation something like this. Okay, because of doing some so on some mistake, I am getting this type of error.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that, the error should be noted for you. Okay.
Yep.
Right. So okay, fine. Let me remove this one. Once again, coming to this one, I am making it as I less than 5. So now if I compile and execute the program, it has to display
Mm.
0 to 4. Right? So now what I am doing is I am converting this while loop as for loop now. Okay, I am converting the same while loop as for loop now. So first let me change the keyword as for, and then initialization, then condition, then increment or decrement we need to give, right?
Yeah.
So let me get this one. So now also the functionality is same, right? Now also it will display the same thing, 0 to 4 only.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But now what I am trying to do is, here I am trying to change the structure of this for loop. Just a second. I am not changing the for keyword. I am not changing the keyword. Okay, the keyword is for only, but I am
Mm-hmm.
removing the initialization and I am keeping here.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not changing the keyword here. The keyword is for loop only. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
compile this one. Is this compiled? What it is saying, illegal startup type it is saying, and the second error is not a statement it is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I less than 5 is not a statement, right? It's a condition.
Yep.
Right? But coming to your for loop syntax, first what it is expecting? It is expecting initialization or not?
Yes.
Right? Initialization is what? Once again, it is statement only.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, but in the place of statement, it is able to find a condition here. So that's why it is raising an error. So now
Mm.
to avoid that error, what I am doing is I am giving a semicolon here.
Mm.
Right? So now let me check it. Is this compiled?
Yes.
Now it was compiled successfully. Right? So in the same manner, I am trying to remove the increment also from here, and I'm keeping it here, right? Compile this one, is this compiled? It was compiled successfully and it was executed successfully,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now, do you think there is a lot of difference between for loop and while loop,
No.
right? No, right? There is no difference between for loop and while loop except the syntax,
Mm-hmm.
right? We can find only the changes in syntax, but both are same. Why? Because both are loops only.
Yep.
Both the requirement is what, both the responsibility is what. He has
Loops.
to repeat it for multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, then we can ask me one more doubt. Then when I have to use for loop and when I have to use while loop,
Mm-hmm.
right, Shirish? Then
Yep.
one when I have to use for loop and when I have to use while loop,
Uh,
right? There is
mm-hmm.
no convention or there is no condition to use only for loop or to use only while loop, right?
Yeah.
They are providing two options for you. Whatever you feel convenient, you can use that one.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel if you are using for loop, you can feel more comfortable, then you can work with for loop only. Or else
Yeah.
you can go for while loop.
Perfect.
Okay, right. So now let me make it as once again while loop here. While, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So coming here, I am changing the condition as like this. I should be greater than 3. Right? I should be greater than 3 I'm giving. So
Mm-hmm.
now if I compile and execute the program, will it compile?
Mm, should we? No.
Why? What is the reason?
It again, it doesn't use the statement inside the loop because the fact that I is equal to 0, right? So it comes
So
in
are you expecting unreachable statement error or no output?
unreachable.
See, unreachable statement error when you will get, when for the loop we are passing a constant only, it will get unreachable statement error. But right now we are not giving a constant, right? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it is returning false, but in the condition one variable is there, I is there.
Mm-hmm.
Variable means what? It is varying. That means keep on changing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So my compiler will think like this. Okay, right now for the variable the condition is false, but maybe some other time it will be true.
Mm.
So it will compile this one and it will execute this one also. Obviously, if it is compiled means what it will return? There will be no output, right? Why? Because
Mm.
it is not satisfying the condition,
Yeah.
right? If my compiler feels something like it is a constant, then only it will return unreachable statement. But
Mm.
every time it doesn't return that one. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
press enter. Now there is no output, right?
Yeah.
So now we are changing I and we are replacing with 0. Directly we are replacing with 0.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me, will it compile or not?
No unreachable error.
Exactly, right? Obviously no. Compile this one. Unreachable statement. Why? Because 0 is greater than 3. The computing is a constant.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Shirish?
Yep.
See, maybe it is a basic thing only,
Mm-hmm.
but we never check with this one. Why? Because we won't do any cross checking, right? But
Mm-hmm.
basically, see, maybe if you want to work with Java, you know to learn all these things. But if you want to learn Java, you have to know all these things, right?
Yep.
You have to check all these things and you have to cross check it. If I show you one way, then you have to choose your own way. Something like then you have to ask yourself. You have to question yourself. Why you have to go in this way? I will go in some other way. Like that,
Mm-hmm.
you have to question yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what I am doing is I am not at all providing any statement here.
Mm-hmm.
I am keeping it empty,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now if I compile the program, there are only two ways, right? Whether it has to be compiled or it has to be give an error.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It has to either it has to compile or it has to give an error. That's it, right?
Yep.
So now let me check it. If it is compiled means what? It is taking some default value.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not compiled means what? Giving the condition is mandatory.
Yeah.
That's it, right? We are having only two ways here. Press
Mm-hmm.
enter. What happened? Illegal start of expression. That means what? Here condition is mandatory. We have to give the condition as mandatory thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Okay, so let me provide the condition. Okay, so till now is it clear for you?
Yep.
Right. So okay, fine. Replace this as I. And now what I am doing is I am making it as do while. Okay,
Hello.
while. While
Okay.
of some condition you have to use semicolon.
Mm-hmm.
Do means what? It has to do some operation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It has to do some operation. See,
Yep.
maybe if it is checking with the condition, it is false here. But
Mm-hmm.
right now, for the first time, it never check with the condition.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because in the flow of execution, this is the first statement, this is the second statement, this is the third statement.
Mm-hmm.
And coming to the third statement, it is saying what it is asking you to do something.
Yes.
So you have to do that. So you have to enter into the loop and you have to display the value of I, and then you are incrementing the value of I. So I will become as 1 now. Now it is checking with the condition. Is 1 is greater than 3?
Yes. 1 is
No, no,
smaller
1
than
is not.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 is not greater than 3, right? So it will return false.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if it is returning false, once again it will never enter into the loop. That's it.
Yes.
That means for the first time it will never check with the condition. From the second time onwards it will check with the condition.
Mm-hmm.
Is this executed now? Yes, right?
One. Yes.
So till now is it clear for you regarding loops?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
clear.
now, yeah. Now let us take something like the switch cases, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the syntax of switch and case is like this. Switch of, it will expect you to pass some variable here, right? Inside that, you have to give some cases, case value 1, right? Some statement,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then case value 2, some
Mm-hmm.
other statement, case value 3, value 4, value 5, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let us take an example. Here I am taking a variable as a,
Mm-hmm.
right? Before using the variable, I have to define it, right? Otherwise, it will give some error.
Yep.
So I am initializing the variable integer a equal to 5 here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now coming to the values, I'm giving the values like this: case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, like this. That means if the value of a equal to 1, it has to execute case 1,
Mm-hmm.
right? If the value of a equal to 2, it has to execute case 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me display something here. In case 1, in case 2, in case 3, in case 4, and in case 5 I'm giving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now if I compile and execute the program, what is your expected output?
In case 5.
Exactly. In case 5 it has to display. Compile this. It was compiled successfully. Execute this one. In case 5 it is displaying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. But now I am changing the value of a equal to 5 as a equal to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now if I compile and execute the program, what is your expected output?
Uh, in case 4.
Exactly, right? In case 4 it has to display. But
Mm.
observe here what happened.
In
It
case
is
4.
displaying in case 4 and in case 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me do something now. Let me change the value of a equal to 4 as 3 now. Now
Mm-hmm.
if I compile and execute the program, what is your expected output?
In case of 3, 4, in case of 4, in case of 5. That will become.
Exactly. In case 3, 4 and 5 it has to display. Press enter. Exactly, we are getting the expected output here. That means how it is executing, how the flow of execution is there here, right?
So,
If you are giving a value equal to 3,
mm-hmm.
it will start its execution from the case 3 itself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So from here it will start the execution. So it will execute this one, then
Mm-hmm.
this one, this one, this one, this one at last.
Yeah.
Right? But my requirement is if I give 3, it has to execute only case 3. It is
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to go for case 4 and case 5.
Yeah.
Then what I need to do? My execution will start from here. So I
Mm.
will execute this one. After executing this statement, I have to break the block or not.
Yes, you need to break the block.
I have to break it, right?
Yep.
So if you want to break this one, you need to use a break keyword here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you need to use a break keyword here. Compile this one. Compile successfully. Execute this one. So now you can find in case 3 only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now guess what is your expected output? If I give the value of a equal to 1 now, what is your expected output now?
In case of 1, in case of 2, in case of 3.
Exactly. Right? Why you are stopping with in case 3 only? Why? Because we are having a break statement here.
Mm.
Right? Exactly. Right? Compile this one. It was compiled successfully and execute this one. Right? In case 1, case 2, and case 3 it is displaying.
Yes.
Right? So till now is it clear for you?
Yes, yes.
Right. So now what I am doing is here I am making a equal to 6 now. Right? Do you have any case 6 here?
No.
No, right? So what it has to do? We are having only two ways. If I compile the program, it has to compile successfully or it has to give an error.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If it is giving an error means it's a problem with the value.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if it is compiled means it is going to execute something.
Mm.
Right? So let me compile this. Is this compiled? It was compiled. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now let me execute this one and let me check what is the output here. Press enter. What happened? Nothing is there in the output. Why? Because the value of a equal to 6 is not matching with any case. So because of the reason, it is not displaying anything here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now let me do something. Now I am trying to change the value of a equal to 7. Even if you give 7 or 8 or 9 or anything other than these cases, it will do
Mm-hmm.
the same thing or not,
Yes, it'll do the same
right?
thing.
It won't display anything here. But
Mm-hmm.
my requirement is if it is not matching with the condition, if it is not matching with any cases here, right? It has to give one default statement,
Mm-hmm.
something like illegal option or invalid option like that, a sample message.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for that reason, if you want to do like that, you have to go for default case. Okay, default case will give invalid option or invalid case like
Mm-hmm.
this. Now let me compile this. It was compiled successfully. It was executed successfully. That means what? If the value of the variable is not matching with any case, then it will go for the default case only.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let me do something now. I am trying to remove the default case from here and I will keep here. Now guess what is your expected output? Observe here
Mm-hmm.
carefully and guess what is your expected output.
It'll display in case invalid case, and it'll display in case 1, in case 2, in case 3, and then it'll break.
Exactly. Exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are giving a equal to 6 means first it will check with all the cases. If it is not matching with any case, then it will check for the default case. So from the default case itself, it will start the execution. So
Mm-hmm.
first it will display invalid case, in case 1, in case 2 like that up to you find break statement.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If it is not having any break statement, it will execute the complete switch cases or not.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly, Shirish. Compile this one, execute this one. So you are getting the expected output here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And yeah, for today I'm stopping the session. Why? Because due to some due to some problem with the timings, I am having one more session right now.
Okay. Fine.
Okay,
Perfect.
so I will stop the session for today. And
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow we are going to discuss about, yeah. I need to explain about for each also. One more loop is there here. Coming to control statements, only one is left.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, so if I
So.
want to explain that one, we
Mm-hmm.
need to know about either the arrays concept or the collection framework,
Okay.
right? So while I am explaining about arrays or collection framework, I will explain that loop also for each.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, so tomorrow we are going to see what is an array, how the arrays will be. Anyhow, you know about all these concepts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just I will brush up all these concepts and directly we'll enter into the main subject.
Perfect. Perfect. That'll be
Okay.
great.
So tomorrow I am going to explain about arrays concept and I will
Mm-hmm.
explain about the loop also,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if time permits me, I will explain about how to work with the arguments, all these things by tomorrow.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
So tomorrow
So
same time, right?
yeah, same time. So
Okay.
do you have any plans by tomorrow?
Means plans in the sense?
That means do you have any work by tomorrow? Tomorrow it's weekend, right?
Yeah, tomorrow I have a bit of work here, but you want me to do something?
No, no, not like that. That means I'm just confirming you whether you are able to attend the session or not.
Yeah, I can attend the session tomorrow.
Yeah. Why?
Tomorrow.
Because a lot of students don't want to take classes in weekends. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, not a big harm because I want to get it done as quickly as possible. I don't
Yeah.
have time in my hand anyway. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
okay.
Suresh. Yeah.
So tomorrow
So
we'll have it at 6 again. Cool? I
yeah.
mean six
Yeah.
thirty.
Right, Suresh.
6:30 is good,
Yeah.
right?
Um, I think the same time, right? One second.
Yeah.
Let me check with the timings. Yeah. For you, 6:30 a.m.
Okay, great,
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Right. So is this possible for you to attend the class by 6 a.m.?
Be a bit difficult, but maybe yeah,
Yeah. For
maybe.
tomorrow only.
Okay,
Only for tomorrow.
let's try it. Yeah, let's try 6 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So right,
So
Shirish. See you in next session.
what time I should be awake here? I mean 6 a.m. for me. Yeah, perfect. That does make
Yeah.
sense.
For you, 6 a.m.
Okay. Okay then.